Yo, what to do, people? Welcome back to another video. This your boy Tony, aka Two Tone. We are reacting to Barcelona's 3-1 win against Real Oviedo. It was not an easy match. Barcelona had to pull through in the second half to make some changes. Don't worry, this is my dog in the background eating stuff off the floor. But anyway, it wasn't an easy game. Barcelona made some changes at half, was able to get the comeback victory. Important in the title race, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's start off with the lineup. When looking at the starting 11, he had Joan Garcia at goal. Left back, it was Gerard Martin. The two center backs was Cubarsí, Ronald Araujo, and the right back was Eric Garcia. The midfield trio was Pedri, Marc Gasado, and Dani Olmo. In the front three, you had Rashford out left, Ferran Torres in the middle, and Rafinha out right. In the first 5 minutes, obviously them being at home, Barcelona's in town. They were pressing pretty high. The crowd was behind it. The 5 or 10 minutes, but nothing really created for real. And then Barcelona kind of controlled possession, calmed things down for the next 10 minutes, and that's the first 20-some-odd minutes that was out. I want to say in the 10th minute, we did have an opportunity in the 10th minute when Rafinha went down the line with his right foot, played it into Rashford. Powerful shot from Rashford, bounces off the ground, but it goes straight to the goalkeeper. It's a straightforward save. It was a half opportunity created there from Rashford and Rafinha in the 10th minute. In the 32nd minute, this is when Rafinha received the ball, but he's more in the middle, few yards outside the box. He takes a shot with his left. It takes like a hop or two. Beats the goalkeeper, hits off the post, but the way it hit off the post, it directly went left. Ronald Araujo was there on the rebound, shoots it off the rebound directly towards goal. The goalkeeper's damn near behind the line, but he saves the ball. Looked a little bit shaky, I'm not gonna lie, but he saves the ball on the line. It bounces up and they headed it out for a corner kick. That was really about it from Barcelona in the first half, if I'm gonna be honest, because right after that corner, in the 33rd minute, they played a lone ball in behind Barcelona's line. Joan Garcia playing sweeper keeper, he comes up to win the ball. The way he came up, he controlled it by bouncing off his thigh. The touch was a little heavy. He then takes another touch away from one of the who was that out left? I'm sorry, he was outright. I believe that was Hassan, that after he controls the ball in his thigh, goes a little bit farther away than he wanted it, takes a touch to get away from Hassan, but then the touch led him to approaching Santi Cazorla because he was pressing. He panics a little bit. Joan Garcia with the left plays it to Marc Gasado, but it was too far ahead of him, so Marc Gasado was trying to chase to get the ball. And look, credit to Reina on Real Oviedo, because as he intercepts the ball, he doesn't take an extra touch. He doesn't have to think about it. From about 40 yards out, first time into an empty net, he beats, Ronald Araujo and Gerard Martin, who was back there. They really had no shot to get into that anyway. No point of really even mentioning them. It was just a great shot. 40 yards out, goalkeeper's out of the net. Only thing you have to do is get it on target, and Reina did that. So, credit to him. I also want to say this while we're giving out credit to Real Oviedo. Eric Bailly dominated that first half. I thought it was 2016 all over again. It was confusing the hell out of me. But as we're going to see later on with the changes made, he dominated that matchup with Ferran Torres. While Ferran Torres, I like him, there are certain matchups he's not good in because of the physicality played from the center back. Eric Bailly is a physical center back. So every time there was some half opportunities created, Eric Bailly is there to clear the lines, show a bit of physicality. He had a really, really good first half. Really a good game overall. Like, I'm not just going to limit it to the first half. He had a really good game overall. But that first half, I noticed him a lot because he's clearing shot after shot. He's clearing shots, blocking shots, making tackles, heading the ball away. I'm just like, man, this dude is everywhere. So I thought between Bailly and Reyna, that was Oviedo's two best players. Hassan had some moments on that right-hand side. Kind of made me nervous going up against Gerard Martin, but it was moments where he beat him for pace, but nothing really too much great. I thought Eric Bailly and Reyna were the two best players. So Barcelona going to half, losing 1-0. At halftime, I felt the defense was playing fine. I felt in the first half, Eric Garcia was our best player. He was defending well, making passes. He was kind of really all over the place, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think he really put a foot wrong in that first half, Eric Garcia. But truthfully, Pedri had to do a little bit too much of everything in that first half for Barcelona. I really didn't see enough of Marc Caicedo. Pedri was all over the place, left, right, deep, in attack. He was everywhere, and you could see it was starting to take its toll on Pedri because we were depending on him a bit too much, and he looked exhausted. Marc Caicedo didn't play bad. I won't blame the goal that they scored in the first half on him. Again, that's all Garcia, and it's just that. And mistakes happen. When you play in a high line, sweeper keeper role, you're bound to give up some of those goals. You just hope that you learn from that, and we get 3 points in those matches so they don't come back to make it a bigger deal than what it was. But Marc Caicedo, it was a few times where everybody was stacked right outside the box, and he's shooting the ball, and it's a bit weak. No power behind it. He had a ball he probably could have played in better to Rafinha. It wasn't a good pass. It's not that he was playing bad, it's just that he wasn't playing good as well. His match rating was a 7, and I understand why, because it's not like he played bad, but like I said, he didn't do anything great as well. We clearly needed someone else in that midfield, that someone being Frankie de Jong, to help Pedri relieve some of that ball retention, relieve some of that pressing, and that's what he did in the second half. In the middle, Dani Olmo and Ferran in the first half were awful. I'm not going to say Ferran was awful. Ferran, in most often cases, like he lost his one-on-one matchups with everybody because he just was more physical. Dani Olmo, didn't really see anything from him in that first half. I thought he was poor. Rafinha, a few half opportunities created. He's the one who, again, had the shot off the post, and he created the opportunity in the 10th minute with his right foot, but half opportunities. Rashford, same as well. He had 2 or 3 shots he created himself on that left-hand side that forced saves from the goalkeepers, but they were straightforward saves, really. He had a shot that kind of was reminiscent to what he did in the Newcastle game as far as just going across goal, across your body, using power. But again, it was able to be saved. So that was really it from the first half. And like I said, they made the substitutions by putting on Frankie de Jong, and it was an instant impact because in the 55th minute, Barcelona ends up equalizing the match. It was Ronald Araujo. After the corner was played, Ronald Araujo was on the far left, like a left winger, left back role. Beats his man, plays a low ball into Ferran Torres with Eric Bailly all over him. And he tries to control the ball, and unintentionally he bops the ball up for himself. As he's falling down, Eric Bailly's all on his back. As he's falling down, the ball bops up. He kind of half turns off the volley, shoots the ball. Goalkeeper saves it, but he parries it on towards the far post. It bounces off the post, and Eric Garcia was there before the goalkeeper to be able to tap it in to tie it on 1-1. And that was a big goal to get, because the second most important goal to me whenever you're chasing, if you don't get a goal before half, you need to get a goal in the first 10 or 15 minutes to start the second half. And we did that by equalizing in the 55th minute. And then 15 minutes later, in the 70th minute, this is why Frankie de Jong was subbed in along with Lewandowski. Instant impact for my substitutions. Great call from Hansi Flick, because in the 70th minute, Frankie de Jong on the right-hand side plays a beautiful ball into Lewandowski, and he was really surrounded by 5 Real Oviedo players. But when he played the ball in, Frankie de Jong into Lewandowski, he wins the header over Eric Bailly. Powerful header near post, hits off the bar, bounces down, goes back up into the net. Barcelona take a lead 2-1. And getting back to my point that I was making earlier, Ferran Torres is a good forward, but he has to have a favorable matchup, because if he has a physical center back, he don't, from my memory, he doesn't really do too well against those type of center backs. You put on a real number 9 like Lewandowski, and there's no shame for Fernand Torres not being Lewandowski. Lewandowski is generational. But when you put a real number 9 onto the pitch, who's now a target man for Frankie, I don't think Frankie de Jong plays that same ball if that's Fernand. That's just me. But you give yourself a target man with Lewandowski. He has the size and the physicality to actually win the header against everybody in the air. And he has enough power to be able to beat the goalkeeper near post. That's why we put on Lewandowski, the target man, and that's exactly what it did. So, again, instant impact from Frankie de Jong and instant impact from Lewandowski to give Barcelona the 2-1 lead. And it was a bit of control and play. After that, it was kind of going back and forth. Nothing really was created from either side up until the 88th minute, where Barcelona had a corner. And quiet second half from Rashford, I'll admit, but he gets his assist nonetheless as he crosses the ball in from the right corner. Ronald Araujo dominated his matchup 1v1, powerful header into the lower box. I think it was against Sibo is how you say his name, number 6. I can't remember how you say it. Sibo. If it's Sibo, if y'all know, let me know. But after the corner was played in from Rashford on the right hand side, Ronald Araujo was getting held back by Sibo, and he was able to still maintain his positioning. Powerful header into the lower left corner of the box. I mean, a goal. Goalkeeper couldn't get to it, and that basically sealed the game for Barcelona, winning 3-1. They gave the man of the match to Eric Garcia, and I'm not mad at that. If it wasn't for Eric Garcia, I would give it to Ronald Araujo, because he takes a lot of criticism. Like we all know, Barcelona fans has been hard on Ronald Araujo now for the last 18 months, it feels like. And I thought he played well. He had a few moments where he cleared some passes, low driven crosses coming into the box. He was there a few times to block a shot here and there. And he got his goal. So I thought him and Eric Garcia, for the performances that they put in today, for both of them to get a goal, I felt like it was very deserving of both of them. Kubarsi was solid again from that back line. Gerard Martin ended up getting subbed out, and we had Eric Garcia playing out on the left when Koundé was subbed in to play out right. But all in all, I think in this kind of game won't be remembered if Barcelona ends up winning the league. If we would have ended up dropping points and we would have later on lost the league, you go back and you would have looked at this game and you would have been able to be like, see, this is the moment here where Barcelona was probably started the process of bottling the league, right? But that didn't happen, luckily. And like I said, Eric Garcia, man, hold your head up. It was just a mistake. I'm not going to be hard on him. But at the end of the day, tough opponent against a team who was newly promoted at home. It was always going to be more difficult than it looked. But Barcelona pulled through by aggressive substitutions from Hansi Flick in the second half. He didn't waste no time starting that second half, making an instant sub with Frankie de Jong. I like that about Hansi Flick. He don't waste any time. He's going to make his subs as soon as he needs to make his substitutions. So, great comeback from the boys to be able to pick up all 3 points. And getting those 3 points, Barcelona is now currently sitting second in La Liga, only behind Real Madrid. 6 matches played, 16 points, while Real Madrid has 6 matches played, 18 points, 2 points behind Real Madrid. But right now it's not about the points, it's just about keeping up, right? We understand we dropped against Rayo Vallecano, right? So we can't really afford to continue to drop points. And knowing that Real Madrid already played Real Oviedo and won, we had to do the same. So great performance, second half performance for sure from Barcelona to be able to secure those 3 points. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. Who was your man of the match? Did you agree with it being Eric Garcia? Me personally, I'm not mad at that. I personally would have went with Ronald Araujo. but you can't really go wrong with either of the two. But who was your man in the match? What did you think about the performance today? Who was disappointing in that first half? And what do you think about Joan Garcia's mistake that led to that goal from Real Oviedo? But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, man. It was a fun match for sure in that second half, at least from a Barcelona fan's perspective. But 3 important points from the boys. It's your boy Two Tone. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Again, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought about the game today. And I'm going to get up with you guys on the next video, man. And until then, Two Tone out.